Hi everyone, it's Nick the Gardener, and what a beautiful day it is today, June the 2nd, 2024. And today, what I want to do is harvest. I don't know if I'm going to harvest all of it or just some of it, but yeah, I want to get maybe half of this out. I've emptied the bin round the side of that Dalek just over there, which had some worm castings in from the last time, and I've just pulled them out and sieved them. But what I need to do really is take this lid off and get it exposed to the sun, so any worms that are in there will dive down. And I'll give it like 10 minutes with the sun on it. That should make the worms go down. I'll harvest a bit off, and then as I move along, I'll harvest a bit from here, and then from there, and then from there, and then from there, and then from there. And then once I've gone back down to here, hopefully the worms will have gone back down again. That's the theory anyway. So I want to do that first of all. I also have brought the Kens up here, so I'm going to make cauldron number 2 and put 2 of the Kens in there. And I'll just quickly show you that. In fact, actually what I'll do is I'll take this off first while we're here, and get the sun on it, so make the worms dive down. So what I'll do is I'll just set you up on here for a minute. And is that all right? About there. Yeah, just need to unwrap it really for a minute. Just to get the, like I say, the sun on it, make the worms dive down. And then we can start harvesting it. Hopefully a lot of the worms will be in this compartment over here. And I've also brought a spare broccoli up today, which I'm going to put in the cauliflower bed. That one cauliflower isn't doing that well. I don't think there's no point leaving it when I've got a broccoli at home, which needs potting on, or putting in the ground. So it's a perfect day for this today, because the sunshine is going to make the worms want to go down. Put any worms over that side. Yeah, I mean, it's looking really good. It's been in here now for about 9 months, which is probably a bit too long. Could have probably reloaded it a little while back. A little bit of plastic there. Where's that coming from? There's a load of worms. Ooh. Well, let's try and get that out when I harvest it. So that's yeah, opened up. These worms, what are just down here, I don't know if you can see, let's put it down a little bit. These little worms here, they'll dive down in a minute. We don't like. Okay, so as that's making the worms dive down in the sun. Now for the single seed potato, this in here is topsoil, what I sieved. Sorry, I didn't sieve, sorry, I dug it out from underneath the compost bin. And that was advised by Mike from Sow Grow Eat. He said that he grew the best ever tomatoes he'd ever grown from the soil dug out from underneath the compost bin. So that's going to be a base for the single seed potato, the Kens. So I've got 3 of those topsoil bags in total. I just want to show you this massive leopard slug down here. That's a big boy, look at the size of that, that's my fork next to it. I try not to kill him because he's going to eat all the little normal slugs. But yeah, so I've got 2 more topsoils here. This one's been amended with sulphur back in January. And I'll be emptying them into here. So I've got 3 of the topsoil to go in here. I'll be mixing it with biochar, which has been soaking since I made it in January. I've got some compost, which I want to dig out from this Dalek just here, which is going to mix in with the topsoil as well. These worm castings, what I've sieved a minute ago, they're going to be mixed in with the topsoil as well. So the topsoil, worm castings and compost, hopefully mix it all in this big trug with some extra nutrients. And then I'll stick the 2 Kens in cauldron number 2, which I've just lined with weed fleece at the moment. And it's actually a bit bigger than the other one. So yeah, I just wanted to put the Kens up in here, just because at home with the cats around, they just jump all over everything, and I'm really worried that they're going to get damaged. And they're looking really good at the moment. They're really nice and healthy and everything. And these ones even looking pretty good in there as well. Anyway, that's enough to do with potatoes. Let's harvest some worm castings. Right, so I've agitated the top a little bit. Hopefully that's made the worms dive down a little bit. And yeah, it looks like it's done the job. Cocoon there, that's quite a mature one really, as you can see on my finger just there. Orangey coloured little ball. Anyway, so what I'm going to do, start harvesting from this side, take a little layer off there, off there, off there, off there, off there, and then start back over on this side again. So I've decided I'm going to start sifting it as I go, and we'll see what happens. In fact, I'm going to start this other way, because it's easier for me to sift it. Let's move this bloody bit of wood out of the way, so I can get in a bit closer. That's better. Right. I don't want to go too deep, just scrape a bit off, and just sieve it. I'm not really bothered if any worms go in. There's so many worms here. There's probably more worms in my compost bin than there is in this worm farm. But yeah, I'm going to sieve it because I'm going to add some of this to the single seed potato container, the cauldron. And I don't want no bits of potato getting in there. Because I know there's definitely bits of potato anyway. And skins and stuff in there. Yeah, so I don't want any of that getting through and risk of jeopardising getting disqualified. And I know Digwell will be on that. He'll know, he's got a keen eye. So if anyone has any potatoes, volunteers what come up, well, I'm sure Steve will be able to tell. So what I'll do is I'll probably pop you on the time lapse. You don't want to see me doing all of this, do you? But, yeah, just going to sieve it and get as much crap out of it as possible. And that's probably going to go back in the worm farm, all the sievings, once I've finished. If I don't harvest it all today, then I'll just pop it back on top. I'll put you on a time lapse, and yeah, we'll see what happens. So I've got about half a trug worm castings there. I'm going to stop for a bit and start mixing up the soil for the single seed potato. And that's just basically because it's got a little bit claggy now, and it's a bit futile trying to sieve it when it's like that. So I'll remove this trug in a minute, give it a bit of a fluff up to keep the sun on it for a bit more, and hopefully once I've mixed up some of the soil for the single seed potato, it might be a little bit more drier. Give it another little bit of a sieving. Right, okay, so time to mix up the soil for the single seed potato 2024 for Ken 1 and Ken 2. So what I've got, like I said, I've got the topsoil, got 3 bags of topsoil, I've got 2 bags of homemade compost down here, and a couple of bits of worm castings. Got the biochar and some potato fertiliser, bloodfish and bone, and yellow sulphur. So I'm just going to mix the topsoil break up some of the bigger clumps a little bit with some homemade compost, which I've just sieved from the Dalek. You know, my arm's going to be like bloody Arnold Schwarzenegger by the end of today, I think, after all the sieving I'm doing. So I'll add a bit of that in. I want to add some biochar to it, some worm castings, and potato fertiliser. In here is a bit of bloodfish and bone. It's got a little bit of seaweed powder in it, not a lot. A couple of handfuls of that. Not got a lot of this yellow sulphur in here left. A little bit of that. And then I'll give all this a good mix around. And that should, any big bits of twig or wood or anything trying to get out. But there should be plenty of nutrients in the topsoil, I hope anyway. Right. So we'll add the rest of the topsoil. So I've got to fill this container up quite a lot, really. There's quite a lot of well, it's a big container to fill. I'm going to try and fill it with as much stuff as I can, really. More homemade compost. A bit more worm castings. So I don't just want to put the topsoil in one go because it'll just turn into one rock hard lump. If I can blend it all in together, that should be good. To make sure I give it a real good. God, that's heavy. Make sure I give it a real good mix by turning it like that. Right, that looks a lot better stuff now, that does. I think that's not stone, that's just how hard the soil is. Right, so that's the first one mixed. We'll go and get it into the cauldron. Right, so that's the first one done. And my drone just landed in a bucket of soil. That's alright. Right, so I'll add a bit more biochar. Okay. Spread that about a bit. Right, happy with that. Where are we up to? So, I think I could just about get both the Kens in there now. Just going to have to sieve a bit more compost though before I do that. Right, so I've got Ken 1 and Ken 2 just there. I'm going to pop them in somewhere in here, and I'll dig a little hole, pop the soil in this bag, and then I'll empty it back around the plant once it's in. But I don't know if this hole is going to hold its shape that well, because it's only just been put in here. And it's definitely going to need a real good watering, because that topsoil was really dry. I've sifted another big container of compost as well, my homemade compost. And yeah, basically I've got to leave a little bit of soil at the bottom for roots to go into. But we'll have a look at, who's this one? This is Ken 1. There's 2 big sprouts on there. So I've got to be really careful when I do this, I don't snap them. I'll give it a little bit of a squeeze to loosen it off. Ooh, that went in all right. I'll empty this bag back around it. Yeah, so there's Ken 1 in. Right, let's dig another hole for Ken 2. So this is a bit overkill for this, but this massive container means that I won't have to water it a lot. We'll basically just have to come up at the weekends and check it, hopefully, if it hasn't rained much in the week. Let's try and just... Right, let's get Ken 2 then. This one's got 4 sprouts on it, I don't know if you can see. So I can't really see the screen because it's so bright today. But don't want to snap any of these either. And that's gone in all right as well. Let's put this little bit of topsoil back in. And then we've got here in this big container is some more sift compost, which I've just sifted now. I'm going to stick all that in here. 2. Let's pick that up now. Right, sort that compost out a bit better. Make sure there's plenty all around. Oh, what's happened with that? Oh, that plant, I think I've buried the foliage. That's something snapping. That's only a leaf. That's it. Right, that's got the Kens in there then. And perhaps have to put a bungee around them as they grow. So I'm not sure. I think I'll put that one in at a bit of an angle. But yeah, all the Kens are in. Now it's just down to luck, and hopefully everyone else has bad luck. But yeah, well, we're going to give this a big watering in now. I'll just spin you around and show you what we've done. Yeah, so Kens are in there. I think that one went in a bit of an angle, but I'm sure they'll sort themselves out. Some little flowers on there which I'll pick off. Don't want them sucking up any extra energy. So yeah, the thing to do now is just give them a watering in really, and I can't be bothered to sieve any more compost today, but I will need to come up and sieve it some more and put some more in there to top them up. But yeah, thank you very much for watching, and please give us a thumbs up and a comment, say good luck or what have you, and bad luck to Robert. No, I'm joking. Now I think Robert or Steve or Duncan, or there might be a mystery person who hasn't uploaded the video yet, who might do really well. But yeah, so I've got 8 plants in total, although I could have divided these ones up a bit more. But yeah, that's my entry this year. We're doing alright. And just take them flowers off as well. And then, yeah, so good luck everyone, and have a good week and enjoy the sunshine.